Hey everybody, welcome back to Gideon Stuff. Today we have a review of this. This is the Camillus chunk, and boy, what a chunk it is. So let's jump right in with some size comparisons. Let's see if we can zoom. Whoa, there we go. All right. Sorry about that. I had to fix my camera. All right, so let's jump in with our size comparisons. Let's start off with our rats. Here's the one. And here's the two. So as you can see, this knife isn't particularly long, per se, but it is, as its name would imply, a chunk. This is a pretty thick boy. Let's grab our Civivis. Here we have the Elementum. And here we have the Praxis. So, a lot shorter than the Praxis, but just about as tall. Actually, maybe even a little bit taller right here. Alrighty, let's get out our Gerbers. There's the paraframe and the mini paraframe. And let's bring out our PM2. And our Boyout. All right, and to close up size comparisons, because I know we're going to be running a little bit long here, let's grab some other Camillus knives. This is the Chode. Yes, I know. And this is the Bixby. I got all these knives at the same time, and I was going to actually review them all together in one video, but then I decided, you know what? Let's do them separately. Because, yeah, there's some fun stuff we can say about these. So, let's clean off that blade. Bixby Chode. Bixby Chode, oh my gosh. Camillus chunk. So, we have plastic scales with a very highly polished 420 blade. Oh, hi. And, yeah, very polished. Kind of a cleaver style. We have a tip down clip that is actually reversible. Whoops. And this guy is running on bearings. This is kind of an interesting knife. I got this guy for 25 bucks, I think. And, well, I like this guy a lot more than I probably should. But we'll leave it at that for now. So let's go and cut up some cardboard, and then we'll talk a little bit about this guy, how he carries, this, that, and the other. But before we do that, if you've been watching the channel and you're not already, go ahead and subscribe. I will be bringing knife content for as long as I can. All right, let's go cut some stuff. All right, let's cut up this little box with our Camillus chunk. So, again, this high polished blade is quite susceptible to fingerprints. Man, that is very polished. So this big drop point cleaver type blade shape, again, 440 or 420 steel, which is one of those, it's a classic steel. And, you know, as far as a $20 knife goes, I think that's pretty good. It's okay. I prefer it over, like, on the Bixby, they use, and on the Choff, they use the 3CR13 MOV. But this knife is ground super thinly. I mean, look down that choil, which isn't really a finger choil. It's a decent sharpening choil, but yeah. Man, does this thing slice. This knife is actually very fun to use. Very fun. Great slicer. I honestly can't complain about its slicing capabilities because this knife is very capable. It's a good slicer. And, well, I mean, it's a good slicer. With that wide blade, they also had a long time to come down with the grind to the edge. And they did utilize it very well. This is a very thin grind. Let's go take a closer look. All right, so let's talk about the carry on this guy. So there he is in the pocket. Pretty deep carry. He is tipped down, which I do think is a shame, but it is reversible. So that's pretty cool. The clip is, I mean, it's kind of a standard clip. They do have their little sword emblem in there, which I like. It's got some good spring to it. With knives like this, especially with this big flipper tab, when you carry it tipped down, you're always at the risk of something, you know, popping, using the flipper tab to pop that blade open in your pocket and stabbing yourself, which is why I always prefer a tip down carry so that the blade is tucked against the back of your pocket. However, if I really want to, I guess I could put the clip over on this other side, carry it like this, then deployment becomes an issue. But, so carry, if you like tip down and you don't mind tip down on a flipper, it's probably not so bad. It does go in and out of the pocket very nicely. And it's not a heavy knife either. And once it's in the pocket, yeah, you've got plenty of room to go down, get other stuff out of your pocket. So really, no complaints as far as carry goes, except for the tip down, which, spoiler alert, is actually one of the only things keeping me from carrying this guy. Yeah, I can't believe I just said that, but let's talk about this action. It is a good action. It is on bearings. It's maybe not as smooth as on the Bixby, but still, it's very nice. As far as ergos go, oh man, this knife is so comfortable. This knife just melts into your hand. You just want to work with it. The shape, you see it kind of dips down here. Back here, it kind of slopes around. You have this big fat point here, kind of smaller in here. It fits your hand very well. And the clip, actually, the clip being mounted the way it is, you don't really feel it in your hand at all. So that's cool. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, the jimping up here is very nice. It's functional jimping, but it's not super sharp. So that's good. And yeah, let's go back to the table and talk about this guy. Camillus chunk. What are my final thoughts and opinions? Well, let's talk about what I like. I think the name is great. The chunk. I mean, it's simple and completely accurate. I mean, this knife is, look at how much that stains. Man, that polish. This knife is, yeah, it's a chunk. You know, I could imagine this, you know, maybe if it's a little bit bigger, this would be the pocket knife of the Thing from Fantastic Four. But, you know, ergos on this guy, I love. This guy is so comfortable in hand. This is honestly dare I say it? Yeah, I'm going to say it. This is one of the most comfortable knives I've ever held as far as folding knives go. And yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that either. But there you go. I love the ergos. The action. I mean, that almost seems assisted. This is just such a good action, especially at the $20 price point. I have no complaints here. This is really, really good. It's not quite the same action as on this guy, the Bixby, but it's still really, really good. The blade itself, you know, I actually think this is an attractive looking knife, and maybe, you know, this is completely aesthetics and personal preference, but I do think this is an attractive looking knife. And I think the blade looks very good, and it does, man, it's useful. You saw me kind of the cardboard, you have a nice tip on there. This really does look like a, what I would call a drop point cleaver. As for the blade steel, the 420, for 20 bucks, yeah, I'll take that. It's better than, you know, 3CR. I'll take that any day. Yeah, I'm fine with that at 20 bucks. Camillus does this thing they call titanium bonding. You see right there, Camillus titanium. Oh, look, some lights. It's supposed to make the steel like 3 times harder. I'm not gonna speak on that. I don't know if it does or if it doesn't. But yeah, there's that. What do I not like about this guy? Well, the tip down carry is disappointing. If they'd had this a 4-position pocket clip, I would carry this. I really would. The only thing that's preventing me from actually like carrying this knife, well, I have carried it actually. I'll be honest with you. For this review, I did carry and use this guy for a couple days, but you know, the tip down carry is not ideal. It is reversible though. That's pretty awesome. Plastic. I mean, they've got full steel liners under there, so it feels solid. And I mean, the texturing on here is pretty nice. The lanyard hole is a little huge, and if they'd like not done such a big lanyard hole, they probably could put the clip, a position for the clip down here. It's perfectly centered. I mean, it's pretty lightweight for as much blade as you're getting. This knife here, it has a 3-inch blade, and the overall length is like 7¼ inches. So not a huge knife, but man, it feels very substantial. I mean, that's really all I can say. You know, at $20, if, in my opinion, these knives are kind of standing on their own. These Camillus knives are kind of standing on their own in this price bracket, because you can clearly tell that the people behind these knives are clearly trying. And yeah, it shows, and it's great. And at $20, I mean, how much complaining can you do? I mean, if this knife was, you know, being priced at, let's say, 40 bucks, yeah, I could complain a little bit more about the use of the plastic. I could complain that these thumb studs, they're a little bit sharpish. I can complain that the sharpening job isn't 100% perfect, but I mean, it's not bad. And I mean, next time I'll sharpen this guy up and I'll fix that. The lanyard hole I could harp on a lot more. Access to the liner is actually good. There's no lock stick. The liner is a little bit sharp, but again, 20 bucks. So my overall opinion on this knife is, if you like what you see and you want to give this a shot, there's no reason not to. There's really not. This is not, I mean, if you're a knife collector and you only buy Hinderers, this isn't gonna be the knife for you. But you know, honestly, if you just want a weird knife, here you go. And if you're someone who's not in the knife community and you're just looking for a decent knife, well, here you go. And that'll be it from me. I've been Gideon Stuff. I'll see you in the next video.